Mayweather has taken part in 6 formal exhibition bouts. 3 have ended in knockouts. 3 have been more playful distance fights. Which version of exhibition-era Floyd will choose to show up tonight, particularly considering the volatility surrounding this one?
Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao again! The fight nobody thought would ever happen might finally be happening. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe because this is going to be a good one. And I once again have to ask, seriously, is this really happening or are we just chasing nostalgia? Because on October 27, 2025, the boxing world went into meltdown. Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring made an Twitter post that read, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are in talks for a potential rematch in 2026. The Ring's @Mike Coppinger has learned. The fight is being explored as another Netflix boxing event. That one post, just a few lines, sent shockwaves through the internet.
Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather 2. I wish I had 4 hands to give it 4 thumbs down. We don't give a damn. We don't want to see it. Don't nobody want to see it. Y'all got to understand something. First of all, we had to wait 5 years. 5 years for a fight.
Suddenly, everyone had an opinion. Fans, fighters, analysts, even casual viewers who hadn't watched a match since 2015 were back in the conversation. Now, it's important to say this up front. The fight isn't confirmed yet, but the reaction has been explosive. Half the boxing world is buzzing with excitement. The other half is rolling their eyes, saying, please, not again. And honestly, that's what makes this story so fascinating, because this isn't just about another pay-per-view event. This is about legacy, ego, and 2 men who refuse to let time write their final chapter. They've both got something to prove. And in boxing, pride is worth more than any belt, because this isn't just about another fight. This is about legacy, money, and the unstoppable desire to be remembered as the greatest. Let's break down what we actually know.
What happens if you land the rematch with Floyd?
Well, that's very interesting because right now I don't have a shoulder problem. So it's a good fight, and I'm sure.
According to multiple reports, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are officially in talks for a professional rematch, not an exhibition. And the date being discussed is April 2026. The location? Las Vegas. Specifically, the MGM Grand Garden Arena, the same venue that hosted their first fight back in 2015, the night that pulled in over 4.6 million pay-per-view buys and generated more than $400 million in revenue. If this deal closes, it would be promoted and streamed by Netflix, which has been aggressively entering the sports space with live events. This would mark another massive step in Netflix's plan to dominate combat sports streaming, following their earlier ventures with crossover bouts and documentary-style fight content. Now,
but as I said to you in Las Vegas, I'd rather set myself on fire than watch that rematch because it was, I've said that, I'm not even joking about this. It was the worst experience of my 25-plus year career covering boxing. Absolutely horrible in every sense of the word. The fight stunk. That was the culmination, but everything about it was horrible.
Now, here's where things get interesting. Boxing insider Dan Rafael reported that this isn't just casual talk. Real financial deposits have allegedly been made by both camps, meaning this rematch is far closer to reality than most fans realize.
You know, it seems like Floyd, for a guy that's been retired for almost 10 years, is pretty busy. It's just a matter of, like, do we not have anything fresh in boxing? Is it so pathetic that we have to run back a shitty fight from 12 years ago? I mean, look, Manny looked pretty good when he fought Barrios in July. It wasn't like he looked like an old man. I thought he won the fight, to be quite honest. A lot of people thought he won the fight.
By the time fight night rolls around, Mayweather will be 49 years old, and Pacquiao will be 47. That's 11 years after their original meeting. A fight critics said came 6 years too late, even back then. But timing aside, the appeal is undeniable. The idea of these 2 legends sharing the ring again? Older, wiser, and with something to prove? is the kind of nostalgia-fueled story that practically sells itself. And if Netflix is truly behind it, expect global marketing on a level we've never seen before in boxing. Because whether fans want to admit it or not, when Mayweather and Pacquiao are involved, everyone watches. As soon as the announcement dropped, the internet absolutely erupted. Within hours, thousands of fans flooded social media with mixed reactions. Part disbelief, part sarcasm, and a little bit of guilty excitement.
That fight was prime.
Yeah, like he realized, when they fought the first time.
Hey, Floyd older than Manny?
But still,
That's what
waiting
I
for Manny to be more of his prime.
Older than Manny.
I mean, 11 years later, Manny's not going to be the same fighter he was back then.
Of course he ain't. And neither is Floyd either.
That's besides the point. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay then. Well, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about maybe, catching Manny when he's not as dangerous.
Catching Manny while he ain't as dangerous.
One user wrote, "It was 6 years late, 11 years ago." Another said, "Let me be the first to say, we do not care." Someone else called it the Senior Citizens Tour, while another chimed in, "Old men fighting." But yeah, I'll still watch. Even the memes went viral. GIFs of Meryl Streep booing, people pretending to nap during the fight. Yet all of them came from accounts that would absolutely tune in the second Netflix drops the trailer. That's the thing about Mayweather and Pacquiao. No matter how much the public complains, the intrigue is irresistible. These two names are more than fighters. They're brands, they're storylines, and they're living reminders of when boxing truly ruled pop culture. And as crazy as it sounds, the skepticism only fuels the hype. Because deep down, even the harshest critics want to see if these men can still deliver magic one more time. So before anyone calls this a cash grab, let's be honest. Both of these legends have been building toward this moment in their own way.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City.
Let's start with Floyd "Money" Mayweather, because when you're talking about motivation, money and legacy have always been his two favorite words. Earlier this year, Mayweather made headlines for suing Business Insider for $100 million after the outlet claimed one of his real estate investments in New York never actually existed. Mayweather denied the story, calling it defamation, and his legal team went after them hard. What's ironic is that just weeks before the lawsuit, Mayweather had launched his latest business venture, a fitness supplement brand called One of One, which is already in more than 2,000 GNC stores across the United States. It's a multi-million-dollar deal, proving that his business empire hasn't slowed down since retirement. Then, in an October 23rd interview with Bloomberg's Vanessa Perdomo, Floyd was asked about the constant rumors that he's gone broke from his lifestyle. He just laughed and said, "I'm too busy counting money." And honestly, it's hard to argue.
Money made all day. Right here, a light million. Over there, counting up another million over there. Walk with me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take you into my life.
Mayweather remains one of the wealthiest athletes in history, with a reported career income surpassing $1 billion. So if this rematch happens, it's not about the paycheck, it's about control. Mayweather built his empire on always being one step ahead, in negotiations, in the ring, and in the headlines. For him, coming back against Pacquiao isn't about need, it's about narrative. He wants to remind the world that he's still the best businessman, the best technician, and the one who always wins, inside and outside the ring. And if this fight really goes down, Floyd Mayweather wants the world to know he's still the one writing the story.
Former 8th Division World Champion Manny Pacquiao has been appointed as the new Vice President of the International Boxing Association, or IBA, the former Olympic boxing governing body.
Before this rematch buzz even hit the internet, Manny Pacquiao was already making waves outside the ring. In late October 2025, he was appointed Vice President of the International Boxing Association, or IBA, one of the sport's most powerful and historic organizations. overseeing Olympic and amateur boxing worldwide. It was a major moment, not just for Pacquiao, but for Asian athletes everywhere. A kid who grew up in poverty fought his way out with nothing but fists and faith. Now sitting at the top of global boxing governance? That's a full circle moment only Pacquiao could script. And even in his new political role, boxing clearly still lives in his heart. During an IBA interview, Pacquiao was asked to name the best boxers in history across several categories. For best jab, best footwork, and best defense, he chose Floyd Mayweather. That alone turned heads. After years of rivalry, here was Pacquiao publicly giving his former nemesis his flowers.
Job. Floyd?
Footwork?
Footwork, Floyd. Defense?
Defensive.
Defense work, Floyd.
The best boxing in the world for your opinion?
Best boxer, including me?
But when the interviewer asked who he believes is the greatest boxer of all time, Pacquiao smiled and said, "Myself." That one word spoke volumes. Pacquiao's respect for Mayweather doesn't cancel out his pride. He still believes he's the fighter of his generation, and maybe that belief, that burning need to prove it one more time, is exactly what's pulling him back into the ring. He's not coming back for the paycheck, nor the nostalgia. He's coming back because his story doesn't feel finished yet. And despite being 47 years old, Pacquiao isn't slowing down. Not politically, not physically, not mentally.
Yes, well, yeah, told me. Yes. He said he's not sure. That's what he said.
He's still in the gym, still training like a man half his age, still chasing perfection. In fact, 2025 has already been one of the busiest years of Pacquiao's post-prime career. Just a few months ago, in July 2025, he stepped into the ring against Mario Barrios, fighting to a majority draw, a result that surprised some, but impressed many. At 46, Pacquiao's speed, timing, and combinations were still there, flashes of the same relentless Pac-Man energy that tore through divisions 2 decades ago. Reports soon followed that he was planning another professional bout in January 2026. But once news of the Mayweather talks broke, training footage from his Manila camp shows Pacquiao spalling hard. Not shadowboxing for nostalgia, but grinding like a man with unfinished business. Insiders say his stamina and power have shocked younger sparring partners. A rare statement for someone who's been in this sport for nearly 3 decades. It's clear Pacquiao's comeback isn't symbolic, it's strategic. And if the fight with Mayweather truly happens, it'll be the final act of a rivalry that's defined modern boxing. Because while Floyd's been quiet in the gym, keeping his preparation behind closed doors, Pac-Man's been on a warpath. And that brings us to the big question, the one every fan keeps asking. If this rematch happens, what will it actually look like? Will it be a slow, nostalgic exhibition? Or a real professional fight that counts toward their records? While Pacquiao's been juggling politics and public appearances, Floyd's been quietly training, maintaining peak shape, and testing himself against younger sparring partners behind closed doors. If the fight uses standard pro rules, 10-ounce gloves, 12 rounds, and the same Vegas stage, it'll be a true test of who's aged better, the offensive whirlwind or the defensive genius. But more than the gloves or the ring size, what makes this story fascinating is the machine behind it. Because this isn't just a fight, it's a business power move. Behind the scenes, negotiations are being run like a Hollywood production.
Pacquiao said, "I never fought to protect an undefeated record, I fought to test my limits." And that's a very strong quote people need to really think about. Pacquiao didn't fight to protect an undefeated record. He wanted to test his limits.
Sources close to promoter Abdallah confirm that talks are real, deposits are placed, and both camps are treating this like a professional world title fight. Abdallah said the discussions with Floyd's team are very diligent, very structured. The guys financing the event are real guys. They've put up real money, real deposits. I believe the fight does happen, and it's no coincidence that Netflix is rumored to be the broadcaster. This would mark one of the platform's biggest live event ventures yet, and their first major boxing PPV featuring two of the sport's greatest names. The fight is being targeted for Q2 2026, aligning with Netflix's push for live global content and international sports dominance. If this goes through, it won't just be a rematch, it'll be a media event. A streaming-first spectacle blending nostalgia, competition, and modern marketing. And likely the most watched boxing event in Netflix history. Because whether people are cheering, booing, or posting memes about two old men fighting, every single one of them will be watching. In a world driven by clicks and headlines, this fight is pure gold. And both men, business-minded, legacy-obsessed, unapologetically proud, know it. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao built their careers on opposite ideals. Mayweather, precision, calculation, defense, the art of never getting hit. Pacquiao, aggression, chaos, offense, the art of overwhelming your opponent with speed and heart. One chased money and perfection, the other fought for legacy and love of the game. And somehow, both became immortals in their own way. Now, after 11 years, billions of dollars, and a rivalry that changed the sport forever, they might share the ring one last time. Not as young titans, but as survivors of a brutal sport that almost no one escapes from clean. If this rematch truly happens, it won't just be another payday. It'll be a farewell to an era, a final reminder of when boxing was global, when fighters were icons, and when rivalries could stop the world. Because this isn't about who wins or loses anymore. It's about two men proving that greatness doesn't retire quietly. So I'll leave you with this. What do you think? Should these legends fight again, or should they let history rest? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video to support the channel. Subscribe to Boxing is Here for the latest updates, fight breakdowns, and expert analysis. And turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Until next time, peace out.